Good morning. This is Don Hadley. Wanted to chat with you again, have another drive-through, although I'm not driving. I heard a phrase the other day that culture is what really goes on behind the boss's back. And even though I've been doing this for 35 years, I've always been a little confused how to explain or share what culture is. And I think that's really one of the best ways to explain it. We recently did an employee survey of a company with about 250 employees. And what was interesting, they were so worried about the anonymity of it. And part of what concerned me about that is while I want anonymity perhaps to begin with, I also want to be able to have the anonymity as a start to getting direct feedback from people at all levels, amongst departments, with teams, with each other. The real goal is to create a culture of communication in most organizations. And if that happens, number one, relationships get better. Number two, you get better results. Now, by the way, it also creates more conflict because people get more real with each other. The way in which they get real, how they do it, does create, for a bit, a tougher environment. And so sometimes we find we'll do a survey, and 3 to 6 months later, the numbers will actually dip as they're getting real. But then as you start hitting a 9-month to year period, it's absolutely incredible what happens. And ultimately, what you're trying to do is get a culture that what goes on behind the boss's back is the same as what goes on in the front of the boss's back. And the bosses aren't doing things behind the people's back. They're basically being very upfront, transparent in front of the people also. So it works both ways at all levels, parts of the organization. I think this is an important point to make because while we have leadership programs and strategic planning and teamwork and all this, I've almost become to believe that everything we do is really about culture. It's all about the culture. If we as leaders can impact this culture, which by the way includes customers, suppliers, everybody that you touch, you can make a real difference. It's a harder game, it's a bigger game, it's more of a World Series or championship Super Bowl football, but what a great game to play. Thank you for your time.